Some cast members wouldn't eat with me, shake my hand, or be in the same room as me because they were afraid they might give their kids or someone else AIDS if they didn't know who they were shaking hands with. It took them weeks and weeks of being very careful. Linda Evans is a beautiful blonde who became famous for her part as Krystle Carrington in the TV show Dynasty. Made a big splash around the world and set the fashion trends for the 1980s. Still, was her life really as wonderful as the movie made it seem? As beautiful as she seemed, she had been through broken marriages, betrayals, and constant fights with both physical and mental illness. At one point, Linda Evans was criticized by the public because of a legal case that turned her into a less-than-perfect beauty icon. At age 83, Linda Evans has finally told the sad truth about a troubled life. She got through the best and worst times of her life, when she thought life wasn't worth living, to find herself. What really took place? Let's go into a story that hasn't been told before. The emotional journey of Linda Evans, who is beautiful, famous, and hurt. She was born in Hartford, Connecticut on November 18, 1942. Her family had a long history of art. Both of her parents were skilled dancers, and her love of the arts grew because of them. Linda's family moved to North Hollywood when she was a child to find better job chances in the entertainment business. She grew up there with her sisters Carol and Kathy, in a setting that is caring and helpful. Linda grew up in an artistic family, but she was a shy child who avoided other people's eyes and felt awkward in social settings. She was told to take acting classes at Hollywood High School to boost her confidence. At first, it was just a way for her to get over being shy, but the acting classes opened up a whole new world for her. Linda slowly learned that being on stage was fun and exciting. She became more sure of herself with each part she played, and this sudden love for acting grew and grew. Linda got over being shy at Hollywood High School, and those years also set the stage for her future job. At that point, a shy young girl started the process of becoming a famous TV star. Linda Evans got her start in show business when she was 15 years old and got a part in a TV commercial. Her first time in front of the camera, even though it was only a small part, made her want to be an actress. Screenwriters were immediately drawn to Linda's natural beauty and captivating personality. This led to roles in popular TV shows at the time, like Wagon Train, Bachelor Father, and The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. While this was going on, Linda learned a lot and slowly became known as a talented young actor. Linda made a big change when she was cast as Audra Barkley in The Big Valley in 1965. This was her first major part in a long-running show. The youngest daughter of the Barkley family, Audra Barkley, was a strong, smart, and undeniably attractive person. Linda did a great job of playing Audra by creating the right mix of confidence and emotional depth, keeping people's attention and making an effect that lasts. Linda's life changed when she went to the Big Valley. The show was a hit and ran until 1969. It made her a known face on TV and helped her get away from small parts, solidifying her place in the entertainment business. A lot of times, Linda talked about how playing Audra Barkley helped her see her own potential and gave her access to better chances. Not only was this the first big step in her career, but it also set her up well for the rest of the way. Linda was about to start a new part that would make her famous, and people loved how she played Audra Barkley. What was next in store for Linda Evans? It was Dynasty's Bright Glare, a jump that would change her life forever. Most people know Linda Evans for her part as Krystle Carrington on the TV show Dynasty, which made her famous all over the world. Dynasty, which premiered in 1981, quickly became a worldwide hit with its gripping story about the rich Carrington family, which was full of love, betrayal, and internal conflicts. Was a very important character in the show. Krystle was a smart, kind, and strong woman who was married to John Forsythe's character Blake Carrington. The tense rivalry between Krystle and Joan Collins' ex-wife, Alexis Colby, led to some of the most dramatic scenes in the show and became a symbol of power. The famous fights between Krystle and Alexis not only kept people watching, but they also helped the show do very well. Linda won many prestigious awards for her part as Krystle Carrington, including the Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Television Series in 1982. She was nominated for a Golden Globe and several People's Choice Awards in a row from 1982 to 1985, showing how much people loved her. Also, Linda was up for an Emmy Award, which made her even more famous as one of the most famous TV actors of the time. What she did also started dress trends around the world. The fancy gowns, Evening dresses and fur coats in Krystle's closet set a standard of luxury that millions of women around the world followed. Many women of all ages quickly copied Linda's style, which was defined by her thick blonde hair, clean makeup, sharp eyes, and neutral-colored lips. Linda's style off-screen was also very sophisticated. She wore crisp white shirts, jeans, and long coats in very classy ways that were always in style. In Dynasty, the clothes she wore not only showed off her beauty, but also became symbols of the time. Fashion makers will be influenced by their work for years to come. Linda proved that fashion is more than just clothes. It's also a way to show who you are and share your story. Her style will live on forever. Linda was in a number of films besides Dynasty. She was in the action movie Tom Horn, 1979, which stars Lee Marvin, Robert Shaw, and herself. It was Steve McQueen's last movie. While Linda's movie parts didn't do as well as her TV roles, they showed that she was open to trying out different types of roles. Lena played Krystle again in Dynasty, the reunion in 1991. Fans could review their favorite Carrington family stories and characters in this short-lived show. People were happy to see Linda back in the part, showing that she is still popular with crowds. Linda was always looking for new parts and working hard to grow her career, but Dynasty is still her most well-known work. She wasn't just successful because she won awards. She was also successful because she made a deep link with the people who watched her performances. Not only is Linda Evans a famous actress, she is also an example to young people because she is strong and loves her job so much. Linda Evans was at the top of her work and a worldwide star, but her personal life was full of tragedy and hardship, which left her with deep emotional scars in marriage and love. Linda got married to popular actor and director John Derek in 1968. He was 16 years older than her. Lena was only 26 years old at the time. While Derek was already a well-known Hollywood star, praised for his good looks and sure of himself attitude. Derek wasn't just Linda's partner. He also had a big impact on her job by pushing her to do well in the tough entertainment business. But what seemed like a happy marriage quickly turned into sadness. Things were not going well between Linda and Derek from the start. Derek was known for having a lot of problems. He was married to actress Ursula Andress and was known as a passionate but controlling guy. Derek's need to be in charge became clear during their marriage. To focus on their family life, he wanted Linda to give up her acting job, which she did out of love. Even though Linda tried to make things better, the marriage could not stay stable. Derek kept having power over her life, deciding what she wears and how she interacts with other people. Linda thought it was important to give up things for love when she was young and inexperienced, but her desire to bend wasn't enough to protect her from the pain Derek would cause. Derek's marriage fell apart when, in 1973, he started seeing Mary Kathleen Collins, an 18-year-old who would become famous as Bo Derek. Derek not only lied to Linda about his affair, but he also showed it off to everyone by taking Bo to Germany and Greece to avoid getting in trouble with the law because they were 30 years apart in age. Not only did this hurt Linda deeply, it was also a public embarrassment. Derek got sharp criticism for being selfish, and Linda was the subject of rumors and talk. Linda later said that this was the worst time of her life. When the man she loved deeply betrayed her, she felt alone and without a plan. The end of her marriage broke her heart, and she felt terrible about herself because she kept comparing herself to Bo Derek, who was younger and more beautiful. Even though she was in a lot of pain, Linda decided to stay quiet and not speak out in public, even though she was being closely watched. Instead of giving up and giving in to hopelessness, Linda decided to face her pain. Go ahead and do it. She stopped her marriage in 1974 after 6 rough years. Even though the split wasn't easy, it was a turning point for Linda that helped her find herself again. After she broke up with Derek, she called her boss and told him she was ready to start acting again. Linda's toughness not only helped her get over a broken heart, but it also opened the door for a new phase in her work. She got back on her feet quickly in the entertainment business, and her part as Krystle Carrington in Dynasty took her to new heights of fame just a few years later. Linda turned her sadness into something useful, showing that she was more than a woman angry. She stood for power and determination. Bo Derek publicly said she felt bad about the part she played in Linda and John's divorce. Bo admitted that when she was younger, she didn't fully understand what would happen if she got involved in someone else's relationship. She was sorry for the pain she had caused Linda by accident, and she understood how hard it was for her to be married to Derek as well. When Linda Evans' marriage to John Derek ended, It broke her heart, but she turned that pain into strength to move on. Derek got in trouble for how he treated Linda, but Linda chose to forget about it and used it to teach herself never to lose her worth when she's in love. Because she wouldn't let hardships define her life, Linda became a sign of strength. Linda started a new part of her life in 1975, a year after ending her troubled marriage to Derek. Through her marriage to Stan Herman, a famous real estate businessman. Herman, unlike Derek, wasn't in the entertainment business. He could give Linda the security she had been looking for. When they first met, they both wanted a less stressful life, away from the fame and stress of Hollywood. But this marriage didn't turn out the way Linda had planned. As their 4 years together went on, it became clear that they had different goals and ways of life. Linda kept being a big star in Hollywood, while Herman, who was great in his own field, had a hard time fitting in with Linda's world. They didn't have much in common during their marriage, so in 1979, they chose to split up, ending their short but meaningful union. After she got divorced, Linda met a number of famous people, such as Lee Majors, who played the lead role in The $6 Million Man. Although they were only together for a short time, the fact that two TV stars were dating became a big deal in the media. The famous Greek singer Yanni was one of Linda's most well-known partners. Their relationship began in 1989 and ran for almost 10 years. Yanni gave Linda the peace and happiness she had been looking for a long time, Diane often said. Their time together is recognized as one of the most beautiful parts of Linda's personal life, even though they never got married. Linda didn't have kids with either of her first two marriages or the ones that followed. She has made it clear that she doesn't feel bad about not having kids. Her focus instead was on her work, her relationships, and making her life fit her goals. Linda felt happy and fulfilled when she took care of herself, followed her dreams, and kept close ties with the people who were most important to her. In hindsight, Linda's marriage to Stan Herman was a short part of her life, but it helped her learn more about herself and what was important in love. Linda kept her optimism and strength even though she had two failed marriages and never had children. She was always looking for happiness and real ties in her personal life. She thought that every relationship, no matter how long it lasted or how short, taught her something important that helped her grow and become more self-aware. Some people think Linda Evans' decision not to have children shows how much she values her work and her own happiness. Do you concur with this point of view? Comment below. Linda Evans started a new part of her life after going through two failed marriages and a lot of big changes. Difficult for her mental and physical health. She used to be stunning on TV and a model of beauty and strength, but Linda had to fight silent wars that not many people knew about. Linda had a serious health problem in 2014. She needed strong painkillers because her back pain was so awful, having a big effect on her daily life. A neck injury from high-intensity sports training made her problems even worse and lowered the quality of her life even more. Because of these emotional and physical problems, Linda fell into a deep depression. She was in so much pain that she even thought about ending her life when she was at her worst. Late that same year, Linda was pulled over for driving too fast, which made headlines and hurt her reputation. But it turned out that her bad behavior was caused by the side effects of the painkillers she was taking for her terrible back pain. 30 painkillers were found in Linda's purse while the cops were looking into the case. The woman said the pills were given by her doctor, but she admitted she didn't know they affected her ability to drive. On top of her mental problems, Linda lost a lot of hair because of cortisone treatments. She was a beauty icon, so this was a very painful event for her. To deal with things, she started wearing wigs. Instead of being embarrassed, she saw this as a way to heal. Linda told her story honestly in interviews, saying that accepting her flaws helped her gain confidence and learn to love herself again. When Linda thought about her life, she realized that many of the interactions she had lost her sense of who she was. Because she had given up so much to please other people for so many years, she had forgotten who she really was. But it was these pains that taught her how important freedom and self-respect are. Linda was determined to get better, so she started on a hard but determined path to recovery. In order to find balance, she put her mental health first and started living her life on her own terms. Linda once said that life's problems teach us something, and her worst one showed her how strong she really was. From the darkest times, she came out to find her own light again. Linda Evans is not only a TV star, but also a live example of how strong it is to bounce back from problems and start over. Even though Linda Evans had a lot of problems in her life, she refused to let pain and struggle define her. Through her journey of struggle and self-healing, she not only became stronger, but she also left behind a legacy that is deeply moving. Linda is famous for more than just the things she does on TV. She is an example of strength and kindness, sending a strong message that people can get through hard times and find themselves again. Linda has a big impact on people outside of TV. She used her fame to bring attention to health problems, especially ones she had herself, like chronic fatigue syndrome and how important it is to live a healthy life. She wrote books called Linda Evans' Beauty and Exercise Book and Recipes for Life, where she talked about beauty and self-care from her own experience. These were not just simple guides, inspiring many women who are looking for peace and happiness in their lives. Linda's strongest memory is not the awards and praise she has received, but the strength of her own story. She showed that problems and pain can't break a person. Instead, they can help them start over and grow. Her message has gone beyond the entertainment business and is now an inspiration to women all over the world who are working hard to get through the hard times in their lives. Linda Evans is a great example of how someone's worth is not based on how well they can avoid problems, but on how well they can deal with and get through them. She leaves behind a legacy that can be seen in both her acting work and the belief that everyone can find light, even in the darkest times. After a life and career full of ups and downs, Linda Evans has now begun a new chapter that will bring her peace and meaning. She currently lives in Washington State, where the peaceful nature helps her keep her balance. Linda, who is thought to be worth $20 million, stays out of the spotlight and stays in touch with her fans while following her personal interests and doing inspiring things. It was a big deal when Linda came back to films in 2021 with a small but important part in Swan's Song. It was clear from the performance that she still has the acting skills and emotional range to play complex roles. Her show made longtime fans happy and confirmed her position as a respected TV icon. Linda cares a lot about her health when she's not acting. She pays special attention to her diet and workout practice. A lot of the recipes in her book Recipes for Life are her own, with moving stories and simple dishes like salad of hope and light soups. It's more than just a meal for Linda. She treasures the memory, which helped her get through her hardest times. Yoga and working out are important parts of her daily life. People who know Linda well say that yoga not only makes them healthier physically, but also helps them feel calm every day. Her favorite thing to do is do yoga outside in the peaceful scenery of Washington. It helps her mind feel better and keeps her body open. Linda is sure that true beauty comes from within, so she doesn't care about strict beauty standards or trying to look perfect. People should love and accept themselves, and she stresses that confidence and inner peace are more important than how you look. Linda started 2025 with a touching Instagram post. It was a sweet New Year's wish she gave her fans in a video. I hope that this year you find the beauty and magic of who you really are. We should always fight for our dreams and believe they will come true. Wishing you a happy new year. Plenty of love from me to you. Natural, radiant, and full of life force. Many Linda fans were thrilled when she showed up in the video, solidifying her status as a Hollywood star and a source of happiness for many. To be happy, Linda Evans doesn't need to be a certain age or have been through a lot. What matters is how we choose to live our lives and love ourselves. People are still inspired by her by living with energy and hope, keeping us aware that every day is a chance to start over and grow. No matter how hard life gets, Linda Evans shows that having strength and respect for yourself can help you live an important and satisfying life. She has gone from being a TV star to an inspiration. Linda has survived hardship, kept changing, and left a legacy that goes beyond TV. She is still an inspiration to people who are looking for peace and power within themselves at the age of 82. Her life is a lesson that every day is a chance to start over and live a true life. What do you think about the amazing trip Linda Evans has been on? What does her story hit home for you the most? Tell us what you think in the space below. Please like and subscribe to the station so you don't miss any more stories about famous people from Hollywood. Keep watching the next movie.